Howdy YouTube. Today we're working on the trucks 2019 F350. Gonna show you how to do front brake pads. Here we go.
Anyway.
Okay, we've got it jacked up. You need a 21mm socket to take the lug nuts off. There you go. For those of you who don't know, it's a dually, so that's just your hub extender, so you can fit the dual wheels on the front, the same wheel. So just got to pop the caliper off with the mounting bolts with a 16mm wrench right in the back there. So the goal is to catch them before you need rotors, which this time we actually managed to do. And it's got a little over 70,000 miles on it. First set of pads. Just the fronts. Rears are good. You just pry a little bit to get the pistons loose, and you can pop it off. Swing it around up top. Pop your pads out. So, on each side, top and bottom, there's little metal keeper clips right there, and you just pop those out. Next is the caliper pins. Just pop them out of there, clean them, and throw a little bit of brake part lubricant on there. Use the Permatex stuff.
Good to 3,000 degrees.
You want to make sure that rubber boot clips back onto the caliper mounting bracket. There's a little lip the rubber goes over. That little rubber boot goes over a little lip on the back, which is important this time of year. That way they don't get filled up with salt, which they probably still do anyway eventually. Clean the bracket, make sure everything's good for the clips. And then there's new clips and our brake pads from Napa. We use the Fleet because of what we're doing. And those are directional. There's a, well, not a directional, but there's a side.
Sided. Two different sides.
Because you see, if the other way on the front, there's a lip sticking off on the one side. If you put them in the other way, it'll dig into the rotor. So just make sure that nothing's digging into the rotor. Or just compare them to what you take off. We've done this a time or two, so yeah. Now if you need to replace rotors, there's 2 bolts on the back for the caliper bracket. right there. Pop those off. And for a single rear wheel, that's all you have to do. The bracket comes off, rotor comes off and goes back on. For the dually, you also have to pop off your hub extender, and there's a hole goes through to the bolts. Just pop those bolts off, beat on it with a hammer gently, and just so you don't bend the wheel mounting surface. But or if you live down south, it'll probably just fall off. But yeah, then you can take your rotor off and put it back on, slap her back together. Like I said, we don't have to do that this time, but we've also done that a time or two. And everyone says you can't work on new vehicles. Well, not like you used to, but you can definitely do preventative maintenance like this, and it'll save you a heck of a lot of money. I don't even want to question how much brakes from Ford cost. Plus, we'll probably have to wait 2 weeks for an appointment anyway, at least. Just put a little bit of lube on the ears of the pads, stick them in.
Get a bunch of snow in here.
Slider in there, and take an old pad to compress the pistons. Doesn't really matter with a single piston, you could gently do it, but dual pistons you need something. Usually a C-clamp or a pair of channel locks will do it. Slowly compress them back.
And if they're not compressing, make sure your hose isn't super kinked. Like if it's folded over real tight, you're going to be pushing against a kinked hose and they'll never compress.
And if that doesn't work, you probably have a seized caliper. That's another thing. You also want to catch your brakes before not only you damage the rotor, but you run the brakes so low that the pistons pop out of the caliper. We've also done that a time or two. And then you're either getting it towed, or if you're a cowboy, you're driving it with the parking brake with the lever bungee corded to the oh shit handle, so it doesn't lock on you.
Now who would do that?
I don't know.
Who in the right mind would do that?
Or if you're towing a trailer and lose your brakes, you can always just use your trailer activator thing. Slide. Not saying we've done that or anything, but it works. And then just slide it over. Make sure you're on the pins, and then slide your bolts, then tighten them down to the torque spec of good and tight.
I think that was good and tight.
About a boop, boop, good
Torque.
and tight, or half a turn before braking. So yeah, then you just slap your wheel back on and give her a few pumps, and you're good to go. But, make sure you torque your wheels down and check your lug nuts once you've driven a little bit. But besides that, it's that easy. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe for more. There's you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. There's links in the description, plus to other stuff. I'll probably put some Amazon affiliate links to brake pads for this thing down there. You can check out. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but I'll make a few cents, maybe. And that's it. So thanks for watching. Until next time, stay crazy. Have a good one.